Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to one and all present here and online. We are about to start the program. We are waiting for our honorable MOS to join. So before I start, I would like to request all to switch off your phone or keep it in silent mode. Hello, I am happy to announce that our honorable MOS has joined with us. Madam, may I request Madam to take your dignitary. Please, ma'am. May I request other honorable dignitaries of this program to take their distinguished chair on the dais. Sir, please. ACS, sir, please. Professor Monish Thakur, sir. Bodhisattva Mukherjee, sir. Professor Shannal will join within few minutes. Sudipta Borel, sir. Sir? Sir, please join. Sudipta Borel, sir? Yes, sir. Okay. Now the time to felicitation, and we would like to honor our honorable guest. I would like to request research scientists of this department to felicitate our honorable guest with a small token of memento. This year, we are very delighted that with a special GI registered item, we want to felicitate with that. That is a dokra, and with a small orchid from our greenhouse of this department to our guest. So first to our honorable MOS. Now to our respected ACS sir. Now to our honorable guest, Professor Monish K. Thakur from IIM. Now to Mr. Bodhisattva Mukherjee sir, from Additional Director General from Indian Chamber of Commerce. Dr. Shannal is on the way, so we are starting now. On behalf of West Bengal State Council of Science and Technology under Department of Science and Technology, I again extend our warm welcome to all dignitaries, delegates and guests present physically and virtually in today's program. We are here today to celebrate the past, to enjoy the present and look forward for the future. I hope with us, Dr. Debapriya Dotto is also with us from DST Government of India in Zoom link. Hope Sir is also with us. And we are here to celebrate the effort undertaken by our all honorable expert members of TDSE under the leadership of our honorable MOS IC Madam and respected Additional Chief Secretary Sir. We stand here with a few successful achievements towards technology development and support. However, in future we are looking forward of more success stories. Last year on this special day, a MOU was signed between the West Bengal State Council of Science and Technology and the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta Innovation Park, JOCA, leading to setting up of Technology Development and Adaptation Center on 5th October 2020. As a first step in this direction, we have organized orientation program. We have organized one technology hunt program, and in this technology hunt program, 20 projects were selected in the initial level. Afterwards, 9 projects were finally selected. And among these 9 projects, 5 projects will be presented today. So we are happy to announce that among these 9 projects, 3 was financially supported by IIM CIP. An idea clinic has also been initiated to mentor and handhold the idea generated by individual innovators, academicians, researchers of the state. This idea clinic is held on last Friday of every month at Bigyan Chetana Bhavan, Salt Lake. So it is a single window facility to mentor individual innovators, scientists, researchers, academicians from initiation of idea to final commercialization. With all these few words, I would like to request our respected Additional Chief Secretary, Sir, to welcome the gathering. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mahua Home Chaudhary. A very good afternoon to our guests today. Let me take this opportunity to first welcome our Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Biotechnology and the Department of Environment, Government of West Bengal, Srimati Ratna De Nag. I also take this opportunity this afternoon to welcome Professor Manish K. Thakur, the Dean of IIM Calcutta. Is it? Sorry, just a second. Sorry, gentlemen. Professor Manish K. Thakur, Dean of New Initiatives and External Relations from IIM Calcutta. Let me also extend my warm welcome to Dr. Devapriya Datta, who has joined us online. He is the scientist head of the State Science and Technology Program in the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and who has always been a great pillar of support for us in the government at the central level. For many of our initiatives, a lot of credit is due to him. I also welcome Professor Subhranshu Sanyal, who has joined with us. Very warm welcome to you, Professor Sanyal. He is the CEO of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park and a very, very key person in our entire affairs of the TDSE. Welcome to Mr. Bodhisattva Mukherjee, Additional Director General, Indian Chamber of Commerce. The TDSE supported innovators and inventors who have joined us today offline and online both together, and who will make short presentations but very valuable presentations that they have been engaged with the TDSE for the last 1 year. I'll read out the quick list of names. They are Sri Shubhamay Biswas, Sri Samriddha Ghosh, Professor Amlan Das, Dr. Mallika Datta, Dr. Joydeep Mukherjee, Dr. Mamta Chawla Sarkar, Mr. Saurabh Ray, Mr. Sunandan Mukherjee. Let me also extend a very warm welcome this afternoon to our experts in the department and in the state council who have, some of them are present here, many of them have joined online. These distinguished experts have greatly contributed in our efforts and endeavor by giving their domain expertise and knowledge, by sharing it and enriching us with it. I also welcome all the guests who have joined us today, the media, both print and electronic, and the gentlemen and ladies present today this afternoon. Once again, I extend a very warm welcome. I'm also proud to share with you my few words about this initiative by the Department of Science, Technology and Biotechnology, Government of West Bengal, and the State Council for Science and Technology. The Technology Development and Adaptation Center, as Dr. Mahua Home Chaudhary informed you, was signed exactly on 5th October last year, 2020. And we are happy in a sense that this organization has taken its first baby steps in the last 1 year. And we have gathered here today to take a bit of a stock, suggestions and inputs from our experts, dignitaries and guests, how to take it forward towards healthy growth and its future. With the joint collaborative efforts of the country's leading premier management institute, that is the IIM Calcutta and the State Council, the facilities for the Technology Development and Adaptation Center, it facilitates development of technologies in nascent stage in a bottoms-up approach, including catalyzing and translational research to technology transfer. This endeavor aims at guiding inventors and academicians in developing their relevant and appropriate technologies with a strong support of intellectual property rights protection. As we move, the objectives of TDAC are to build and nurture an ecosystem to support S&T-led entrepreneurship, promote scientific research and innovation, mentoring of product development, and supporting the promising S&T solutions or the research within the state, and to enable creation of sustainable venture businesses and facilitate commercialization of research output to create the social impact and success stories. The TDAC will engage in development and adaptation of technologies that are in nascent stage and which will address need-based location-specific problems with appropriate S&T interventions for economically viable, ecologically sustainable and socially acceptable development. To give boost to innovations, the State Council of Science and Technology has decided to strongly support and facilitate the intellectual property right activities, not only by hand-holding various project outcomes, but also by grant of financial support to the investigators to achieve patents and its translation to incubation and startups. Today we have the privilege and opportunity to listen to some of the success stories so far by the innovators and also about the work in progress. In its initial success, it is a matter of pride that the IIM CIP and in particular Professor Subhranshu Sanyal and his team have played a key role, and I look forward to this support in future as well. Thank you, Professor Sanyal. The onboarding of Indian Chamber of Commerce has widened our approach and provided new insights in what the industry would like from the TDAC, and which undoubtedly is a critical chain in the essential industry, academics and research linkage to strengthen the so-called ecosystem and the virtuous cycle of technological development. And therefore, the presence of the Additional Director General of ICC today this afternoon is very important and critical for us. We would definitely like to work them in the coming years and months. So overall, what we would like to see for the TDAC's future, if I may like to summarize very briefly, it's an overarching goal to scale up the pyramid by tapping vast resources of knowledge from the bottom, nurture them through R&D funded departmental program, select promising projects through TDAC and nurture with industry partnerships. Secondly, to uncover the earlier researches done in the past and bring them under sunshine in terms of its adaptation for human and societal benefit. And to this end, today I would like to urge the academic institutions to come up with their research solutions for partnering and development using the platform of TDAC Idea Clinic. Thirdly, to bring in international research through collaborative efforts for customization and further development using this platform. This will enable not only technology transfer but also to enhance our knowledge base in select fields. Also, to do targeted research such as growing, harvesting and commercializing. For example, a very recent idea has been floated by the Chambers of Commerce and Industry that we have a vast coastline in West Bengal, and of course fisheries has been a great focus since long time past. But there is another great element that we can use in our coastline, which is the cultivation, harvesting and commercialization of seaweeds, where the East Asian countries have done marvelous job. And this is something of an initiative that provides a huge amount of livelihood to the poor and the rural people, bringing in a lot of livelihood. So such ideas will look forward with the linkage that I am talking about with the industry and the research and the academia. As I said, the sectoral engagement over a period of time would emerge that we look forward to in future. Let me mention a couple of other initiatives that we are taking other than TDAC. We are in the process of setting up the modern Calcutta Biotech Park, which will have an incubation and all other modern facilities of experimentation, testing, incubation and supporting the startups. And we hope that this should be functional within next 8 to 10 months. We also have a very eminent institution within the Jadavpur University, which we call as the Center for Rural Cryogenic Technologies. Cryogenics, as we see, that is we can see everywhere cryogenics today, right from our AC to fridge and logistics and cold chain system and everything. We would like to take this to the next level, and we look forward to partnering with the institutions in this sector. Well, I would not like to extend much. We have got very eminent guests to speak about their very important ideas and inputs today. So therefore, in the end, I would like to thank the very committed team members of TDAC, who for the last 1 year have made their best possible efforts to take this center what it is today, with sharing some of their success stories. And I would expect that the same commitment or with a renewed vigor they would do so in the coming months. Last but not the least, we look forward to an unparalleled support, guidance and valuable insights of the Honorable Minister, who has always been directing us, giving her insights into the work that is being done in the department, who also happens to be a practicing medical doctor, and therefore the science and research more so we stand to gain from her experience and her prodding us always to take up new challenges on the frontiers of science and technologies. So thank you, madam. Apart from welcoming you, I also thank you for your great support that we always get on a day-to-day basis. And we also on this occasion have a handbook published for the TDAC, which we have titled TDAC Handbook 2021. With these few words, I look forward to this afternoon having a very engaging and fruitful deliberations. And with these words and wishing everyone a very happy festive season ahead, I end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring talk. Now This is time for release of handbook on technology development and adaptation center. So I would like to request our honorable guest and MOS madam to release this handbook. Yes. After releasing, it will be distributed among the participants.
I think we can announce, we'll give a copy to them and
Yes.
it will be available on our website.
Yes. Yes. Copy will be distributed in the participants. Now I would like to request Professor Monish K. Thakur, Dean, IIM Calcutta, to address the gathering. Sir.
Honorable Minister of Science, Technology and Environment, Government of West Bengal, Dr. Ratna De Nag, Shri Verma, about whom I have heard many good things from my colleague Dr. Sanyal, his energy, his dynamism, Additional Chief Secretary of the Department, Mr. Bodhisattva Mukherjee, ADG, Indian Chamber of Commerce, and all the esteemed guests, and I can see some of my colleagues from IIM Innovation Park, and I acknowledge their presence here, and all those who are joining online. Indeed, as I was listening to Sri Verma ji, I was feeling extra proud to be associated with the IMC family. He was giving us some of the things that have happened in just the short time of last 1 year. This is, I think, this is the first birthday of Technology Development and Adaptation Center. And given the challenge of pandemic, if this TDAC has managed so many things in such a short span of time, I personally see a great future for this initiative, and I wish you all the best for that. But besides my personal greetings, I am also here to convey the greetings of the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. In fact, our director, Professor Uttam Sarkar, was supposed to be here, but he had some other engagements. So when he asked me to represent him and IIM Calcutta, I readily agreed. Also because of some thinking that IIM Calcutta is currently going through. And I want to be a bit self-critical here. There is no harm to always say good things about oneself. We have realized that in IIM Calcutta, and this is our Diamond Jubilee year, we were established in 1961. We are the first Indian Institute of Management, the oldest. And that tells you something about the founding vision of some of the leaders of West Bengal who managed to have IIT Kharagpur and IIM Calcutta in the early decades after independence. But we were doing this self-churning, and we realized that though we are physically located in Calcutta, especially located in Joka, which is now part of Kolkata Municipal Corporation, earlier it was Panchayat, but somehow we feel that we are not of West Bengal and we are not of Calcutta. So why this disconnect? And so the work that IIM Calcutta Innovation Park has done and the partnership that it could forge through your department at least reveals that a great partnership is possible, and we have to leverage that. It's not that, I'm not saying that we have never worked with government of West Bengal. Of course we have done. I myself was part of a team which did consultancy for government of West Bengal. I remember Mr. Vikram Sen was the chief secretary in that department, and we worked in the area of primary education. IIM Calcutta has done great amount of work for the Department of Panchayati Raj and all. Again, for the Ministry of Tourism, again when Mr. Vikram Sen went to that department. And I, again, last year in 2019, I had the good fortune to work with Mr. Rajiv Sinha when he was additional secretary, I think, in the health department before he became the chief secretary. And we did some training program for the Department of Health officers and all that. So, of course, we have been working with, and we have worked with the government of West Bengal, but I think there is a need to enhance the quantum of partnership that we have, and there is a need to also enhance the quality of partnership that we have. And that's where I have great hopes from some of the dynamic civil servants, bureaucrats that we have, like Mr. Verma, and we look forward to having that partnership. And why this partnership? We are not doing any favor to anyone. When we say that we look forward to working with IIM Calcutta, it's not about being paternalistic. It's not about extending any patronage, no favor, because this is good for our own growth. As I was listening to him, and I was listening to him with rapt attention, he has given us a very robust, roadmap of the things that he has planned for his department, the idea centers and the startups, innovation, incubation. So, as an academic institute, if we partner with some of the real life concrete initiatives that you have planned, then it's good for our own growth. And this is the ideal convergence between the world of academia and the world of practice. And we learn from you as you learn from us. So it's the higher level of convergence, and it's the symbiotic relationship. So again, I'm here just to reiterate this commitment that we have decided, we have made for ourselves, that by working with government of West Bengal. And why only government of West Bengal? You also, some of you must be knowing that IIM Calcutta Innovation Park has huge presence in the what we call the India's northeast. And there are only two IIMs in this part of the country. IIM Calcutta, the oldest, and we also have another Indian Institute of Management in Shillong. So with these two academic institutes, if we commit ourselves to work with the governments of West Bengal and the neighboring states, I'm sure it would be good for us, it would be good for the public that we all claim to serve. I always keep on reminding myself that all said and done, IIM Calcutta is also a public institute. It's not a private institute. It has its own public commitments. So with these few words, I know I'm as keen as some of you are to listen to the success stories of some of the innovators. I could see their names in the program that you have sent me. So I am keen to listen to them and what they have achieved in such a short span of time. And with these few words, I wish you all the best for this center that you have, TDAC, and with all the activities that you have planned for your department. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your nice deliberation. Now, Dr. Devopriyo Datta, Scientist G and Head, State Science and Technology Program Division, DST Government of India, is with us online. So, sir, I would like to request you to deliver your address. And
Namaskar. Good afternoon. And first of all, Dr. Ratna Denag, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge Department, Technology, Biotechnology and Environment, Government of West Bengal. Mr. Anil Verma, Secretary of the Department, Professor Shubhranshu Sannal, and Professor Manish Thakur, and all the other the dignitaries who are there in online and offline. First of all, like now we know in Bengal that Sharodiya is there, and then this is probably the right time to congratulate the West Bengal Science and Technology Councils and the government of West Bengal for successfully completing the 1 year of TDAC. So this is the real festive season's real the contributions to the innovation landscape of the country. As you know, recently India has climbed up the 2 spots. That's now currently India stands 46th in the Global Innovation Index of 2021, prepared by the World Intellectual Property Organizations, or WIPO. The country's rank has been consistently rising in the last few years, from 81 in 2015. Now it has moved to the 46 in 2021. In the Indian Innovation Index, the National Innovation Index 2020, which is released by our Niti Aayog in January 2021, West Bengal is ranked about 11 in the major state category. Now, the state science and technology councils, they are the unique center state science and technology cooperation mechanisms, which is created by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, through its state science and technology program in collaboration with the State Department of Science and Technologies. This process, which was initiated 50 years ago in 1971, was one, incidentally, West Bengal was among the first 4 states where it was commons, the other being Karnataka, Kerala, and the Uttar Pradesh. And currently, this network is in the 28 states and the 3 union territories. In its evolution process, currently the state S&T councils, their vision is to catalyze the science, technology, and innovation ecosystem through the Center State Science and Technology Cooperation for assessing, implementing, and delivering appropriate solutions for the state-specific challenges, so as to develop a holistic science and technology ecosystem for the overall socio-economic development at the state and the national level. And it's a really matter of happiness and encouragement that the West Bengal Council of Science and Technology, through its Patent Information Center and collaborations with Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata, has established this Technology Development and Adaptation Center in 5th October 2020, in alignment with this S&T Council's the visions to build and nurture an ecosystem to support the science and technology-led entrepreneurships, promoting scientific research and innovation, mentoring product development, and supporting the promising science technology solutions and the research. During this challenging time of the pandemic, it's really a matter of to applaud that the Technology Hunt 2021 was organized by TDSC, and as a result, the 9 projects about whom we will listen today. Also, an idea clinic has been initiated to mentor and handhold the idea generated by the individual mentor, academician, researchers of the states. So I'm confident that this initiative will strengthen the science, technology, and innovation ecosystem of the West Bengal in future by fostering the academic research and industry partnerships, by creating opportunities for interactions. Like already we have heard from Verma-ji that the Chamber of Commerce, Indian Chamber of Commerce, is a partner in these initiatives. Identification, demonstration, and disseminations of the indigenous technologies or technologies developed across the globe against the state-specific needs, the upscaling and the downscaling of the suitable technology for the local needs, and the eco-entrepreneurships in eco-sensitive zones of the states through science and technology-based skill development program, and integrations of the forward and the backward supply chains, creations, livelihood opportunities at local level for the majority of the citizens of the states who live in the rural area. So ultimately, as already Mr. Verma has indicated, that the goal of this TDSC is to strengthen the implementations of the sustainable development goal at the local level. I just want to bring to your notice another point. Though we are improving in our innovations, Global Innovation Index, but let us not forget that among 189 countries, India ranked 131 in Human Development Index 2020, which has been prepared by United Nations Development Program. Thus, country fell in the medium human development category. And the initiatives like the TDSC should dedicate now for the improving this HDI, the Human Development Index. And in doing so, in the path of sustainable development, we were going to address many of the sustainable development goals, especially the sustainable development 1 and 2, but through a strong partnerships, as we have seen here, the different stakeholders are already here by strengthening the sustainable development goal 17. And with all the best wishes, I really congratulate the West Bengal State Councils and the government of West Bengal for this it's tremendous job, and wish all the best for the future of the TADAC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating talk. Now I would like to request Dr. Sharnal. Before the address, actually we are yet to felicitate Dr. Sharnal. So our research scientist is there to felicitate Dr. Sharnal first, and then sir, please address.
From academia, the innovators, নমস্কার সবাইকে আর টিডিএসি কে শুভ জন্মদিন। আমি ফাউন্ডিং টিম এর সঙ্গে আছি, so it's a very special moment for me. First birthday of the baby, we all are happy, not only because it's the first birthday, but within 1 year the baby has started walking as well. So this is what which makes all of us very happy. Now let us take a step back and look at the objectives with which this TDAC was conceptualized. The main objective was how science and technology can impact the life of common people. And my previous speaker mentioned a very important point about the Human Development Index, where even if you look at the last 2 decades, our ranking has not improved much. And we strongly believe that science and application of science and it's okay. And we strongly believe that application of science and technology is the answer to all these challenges, and it can definitely create a positive impact in healthcare, education, and creation of livelihood. Today, I don't want to talk much. I want the innovators to talk more, so it will give everybody a good idea that what we are aiming at. But let me share with you that whatever we are aiming at, there are a lot of challenges in implementing that, primarily being the mindset. Because we know that entrepreneurship is not by default in our culture. We are always, nowadays the youth, they are primarily a job seeker. So first challenge is to change that mindset from a job seeker to job giver. But the positive part of it is that in West Bengal, there is enough talent and enough good work is happening, not only within the academia, but also at the grassroots level. Today, when you will listen to some of the innovators, you will realize that what kind of innovation is coming out of the grassroots level. So I think going forward, we want to accelerate the pace of our activities, and my request to Honorable Minister would be, we want to make it like a movement in the state where youth solves the challenges of the state leveraging science and technology. So we need your support on that. And from IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, we are committing our resources, our knowledge, our network, whatever access we have to make it happen and make it a success story. Okay? And I know the kind of commitment Shri Verma has and the kind of leadership he has demonstrated along with the TDAC team, like Dr. Hom Chaudhary, Dr. Dipankar, and everybody is there. And I am very, very confident that the next birthday when we celebrate, we have already created a movement, and we have the entire hall will fill with successful innovators. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your motivating talk. Now the time is to hear from innovator. And as already said that we have organized a technology hunt program where 20 projects were selected out of 35 initially, and afterwards, after long-term screening, 9 projects. Sorry. Oh yes, yes, yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes, sorry, I have missed Mr. Bodhisattva Mukherjee is there with us from Additional Director General, Indian Chamber of Commerce. So, sir, please, sir, you.
Good afternoon, Honorable MOS Dr. Ratna Denag ma'am, Mr. Anil Verma, Additional Chief Secretary, Professor Shubhrangshu Sanyal, CEO of IIM Calcutta Innovation Park. We have Dr. Debopriyo Dotto, who is the scientist and head SSTP division, and the others, all other dignitaries who have joined us offline, ladies and gentlemen, and all the scientists, students, research fellows of the department. I'm really privileged and honored to be invited to this annual day program and being able to deliver my thoughts in front of all of you. I'm given to understand that the objective of the Technology Development and Adaptation Center are building and nurturing of an ecosystem to support S&T-led entrepreneurship, promoting scientific research and innovation, mentoring product development, and supporting the promising S&T solutions research of the state to enable creation of sustainable venture business and facilitate commercialization of research output to create the social impact and success stories. Let me at this juncture mention to all of you that I represent the Indian Chamber of Commerce, and my sole purpose of being here with all of you today is to try and create industry-academia linkage. And hence, against this background, I would like to emphasize on a very important area which I believe we could seriously focus upon. While we do appreciate all the researchers, the organizations who are engaged in various research works, and the researchers coming out with great results and outcomes for the society at large. But at the same time, from the industry perspective, let me add one more angle to it. While selecting the subject area for any research, I think it is very important that we speak and find out from the various organizations who are indeed looking for some solutions to their existing problems. When I mention about organizations, it could be the established ones who are getting into expansions, who are looking into some kind of diversification or improving on their product lines. It could be the startups, the new ventures, who are trying to understand what kind of solutions is going to benefit the industry at large. So when I talk about organizations, it encompasses the established ones, the new ones, the startups, so on and so forth. We can reach out to the industry at large, seek their inputs about the problem areas which they need to address, and for which a proper research is needed. Based on those inputs, and as per the suitability of the researcher or the organization, the problem can be taken up as the subject of research. For example, when you talk to a company who is engaged in textiles, in manufacturing of garments, I'm sure there could be problem areas like the yarn that is coming out. Can it be made more friendlier so that when the garment is made out of it, the garment could be more airy? Let's say when you talk about leather, can we look at leather products maybe through some solutions which could be more durable, which can withstand the rough weather conditions when you talk about leather shoes or leather essentials that we use during all seasons. So these are certain problems, certain solutions which we could probably look at. So these were just examples. I think if we can try and speak to these kind of organizations, I think it will help us to come out with the research which will be more industry friendly, which will help the industries at large, and it will not only help the industry, it will also create that academia industry linkage. It will help the researcher, it will help the organization, in fact, all the concerned people in that line, in that vertical. We can also take this approach to academic institutes. With the changing and demanding times, students from their school and college days, which we have seen, are getting engaged in various research-oriented work. But many a times they are not properly guided or handholded to choose the correct subject of research which will have a far-reaching effect. Looking at our state, I think we need to identify a few sectors to start with for carrying out these problems and looking at the solution to these problems. We could, as I mentioned, some of the sectors where the state is very strong could be textiles, could be manufacturing, could be chemicals, could be tea, could be fisheries, and as our additional chief secretary just mentioned during his speech, I think one of the areas where ICC has been very active of late because of the large coastline that West Bengal has is in the seaweed sector. I think that is a sunshine sector where not much has happened, but I think there is a huge potential and a huge potential for research so that the seaweeds could be utilized for various, as inputs for various kinds of industries, which are already being done, but the treatment, the solutions could actually help various kinds of industries. On behalf of the Indian Chamber of Commerce, the strongest business chamber of the East and Northeast India, I would like to propose a very simple but a model which will have a far-reaching effect. Can we set up a research wing, ma'am, or a center in all the academic institutes, both private and government, and it will be backed and supported by, of course, ma'am, your department and the state government, and of course, ICC will take a special interest in that. The academic institutes needs to identify space in their campus to set up these centers, Honorable Ma'am. What we could do is government could support in a certain way in terms of identifying the space if required, help out the academic institutes in setting up these centers, and ICC would like to bring in the industry aspect to this. We are looking at forming innovation clubs, and these innovation clubs could be sector specific. We could identify, ma'am, 3 or 4 sectors to start with, wherein we could have a monthly or a fortnightly meeting with the researchers, with the students, with the professors, and ICC would like to bring in 1 or 2 industry persons who are already in this sector to have a discussion, threadbare discussion, to understand what are the burning issues in the sector, what are the areas of development in this particular sector. And basis the inputs from the industry, I think the research could get guided accordingly. This is just a thought from ICC, Honorable Ma'am. If you could take it up for kind consideration, I think we will be very happy, and it will definitely have a very far-reaching effect. So I think what we would like to propose as the Indian Chamber of Commerce is let the students work on real-time problems and come out with the desired solutions instead of getting into research projects which probably may not have the desired results. It can come out as a beautiful project, a very meritorious project at the end of the day, but will not have a future for the state, for the country, or for the industry at large. So let us join hands, let us work closely between the academic institutes, the Indian Chamber, and of course the state government, and under the guidance and support of our Honorable MOS Ma'am, our Additional Chief Secretary Mr. Verma, and their entire team, I think we can definitely look at such kind of innovation clubs which could have projects which will benefit all of us. The entire forward and backward linkages could be achieved. So let me also add before I end that there is also a possibility of even monetizing these solutions in various ways. There is a huge possibility and scope for doing this work, but it needs support from all the stakeholders. And as I had mentioned, ICC would always be very happy to work with the department, Government of West Bengal, in all possible and in various capacities in order to take this, I would say, movement forward. So with this, let me once again wish from the core of my heart all success and best wishes to all the students, researchers, teachers, professors here today on your first birthday, the annual day celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We have heard about the recent challenges and where is the opportunity, the future roadmap. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your deliberation. Now is the presentation from innovators we are waiting for. So, as already said that we have selected 9 projects as a technology hunt program, and within these 9 projects, 3 were financially supported by IIM CIP. One of the project is solar bike, and it was invented by Shubhomoy Bishwas, and he will deliver on this solar bike. I think it's a major problem nowadays. The price of petrol is increasing. So what can be the alternative solution if Shubhomoy can tell us, and if the future can be so that it may be the alternative. So I'd like to request Shubhomoy to present.
প্রথমেই শ্রদ্ধেয় মিনিস্টার অফ স্টেট ডক্টর রত্না দে নাগ মহাশয়কে প্রণাম জানাই। সেই সাথে ডিএসটিবিটির অ্যাডিশনাল চিফ সেক্রেটারি শ্রী অনিল ভার্মা স্যার, পশ্চিমবঙ্গের একটি প্রত্যন্ত গ্রাম বগুলাতে আমার জন্ম। আমি শুভময় বিশ্বাস। আমার মতো একজন সাধারণ ইনোভেটরকে এই মহৎ অনুষ্ঠানে আমন্ত্রণ করবার জন্য আমি ডিএসটিবিটি ও আইআইএম কর্তৃপক্ষের কাছে কৃতজ্ঞ। শৈশব থেকেই অদম্য ইচ্ছা শক্তি আর গ্রামীণ মানুষের নিত্য নৈতিক বিভিন্ন সমস্যা মোকাবিলা করার জন্য একের পর এক প্রজেক্ট তৈরি করি। তখন আমার ক্লাস 8-9 অটোমেটিক সেলফ হেল্প প্রজেক্ট এবং 2001-এ নন বায়োডিগ্রেডেবল প্লাস্টিক আবর্জনা থেকে বিদ্যুৎ, ইট, ধান সিদ্ধ করা এবং ধোঁয়া থেকে কার্বনিক অ্যাসিড তৈরির প্রজেক্ট বানাই। এই বিশ্ব মহামারীর মধ্যেও গ্রামে মানুষদের মধ্যে সংক্রমণ কমানোর উদ্দেশ্যে দীর্ঘ প্যান্ডেমিকের কারণে গ্রামীণ মানুষের সচ্ছলতা কমেছে। বর্তমান সময়ে সবচেয়ে চিন্তার বিষয় পেট্রোল ডিজেলের বেলাগাম মূল্যবৃদ্ধি। শুধু তাই নয়, নিত্য রোড অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট, পরিবেশ দূষণ, গ্লোবাল ওয়ার্মিং, ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ এবং নিত্য নতুন রোগের প্রকোপ মানব সভ্যতায় এক ভয়াবহ ভবিষ্যৎকে নির্দেশ করছে। কার্বন ইমিশন কমানোর লক্ষ্যে পরিবেশ দূষণ না করে সৌর বিদ্যুৎ ব্যবহার করে বিনা খরচে যাতায়াতের মাধ্যম সোলার ইলেকট্রিক বাইক, বৈদ্যুতিক দুচাকা তৈরির স্বপ্নকে বাস্তবায়নের পথে দূষণমুক্ত সবুজ বাংলা গড়ার লক্ষ্যে গবেষণা শুরু করি 2016 সাল থেকে। তখনই পার্মানেন্ট ম্যাগনেট ডিসি মোটর, ব্রাশলেস ডিসি মোটর এবং আমার গ্রামে নিজের বাড়িতে তৈরি করা ছোট্ট ইনোভেশন হাবে উন্নত প্রজাতির লিথিয়াম আয়ন ব্যাটারি প্যাক তৈরি করার হাব তৈরি করি, যাতে আমরা পশ্চিমবঙ্গের গ্রামের মাটিতে বসেই আমরা ইলেকট্রিক বাইকের জন্য ব্যাটারি তৈরি করতে পারি। প্রথম প্রোটোটাইপ বানাই সান পাওয়ার বাইক। 2018 নেতাজি ইন্ডোর স্টেডিয়ামে সেই বাইক আমার প্রদর্শিত হয়। সেই সূত্রে কেইউ এর ভিসি স্যার এবং ম্যাডামের সহযোগিতায় আমার পেটেন্ট রেজিস্টার হয়। বৈদ্যুতিক গাড়ির মূল বিষয় ব্যাটারি বা পাওয়ার সেল। ইনোভেশন হাবে অর্থাৎ আমার গ্রামে যে ইনোভেশন হাব তৈরি করেছি তাতে আমরা প্রত্যেকটা সেলের ডিফারেন্ট কেমিস্ট্রি তার ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স রয়েছে। সেই প্রত্যেকটা সেল থেকে আমরা সেই কেমিস্ট্রিগুলোকে অবজার্ভ করে ব্যালেন্স করে ইন্টারনাল রেজিস্ট্যান্স মেপে ওয়াটারপ্রুফ করে থার্মাল সেন্সিটিভ করে নিজের হাতে আমরা গ্রামে এই ইলেকট্রিক বাইকের ব্যাটারি বানালাম। তারপর গ্রামের বিভিন্ন রাস্তায় উঁচু নিচু আপ অ্যান্ড ডাউন যে কোনো রাস্তায় চলার জন্য আমরা বাইক ডিজাইনিং করি এবং 3 থেকে 4টে প্রোটোটাইপও তৈরি করি। আমাদের লক্ষ্য ই বাইক ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং কোম্পানি বা হাব আমাদের গ্রামে যাতে আমরা তৈরি করতে পারি, গ্রামের শিক্ষিত এবং টেকনিক্যাল ছেলেদের কর্মসংস্থান করতে পারি, পরিবেশ দূষণ এবং কার্বন ইমিশন রোধ করতে পারি, আর গ্রামের মানুষের আর্থিক সচ্ছলতার দিকে নজর রেখে জ্বালানি তেলের উপর যে নির্ভরতা, সেই নির্ভরতা আমরা কমাতে সক্ষম হব। আর আত্মনির্ভর গ্রাম, আত্মনির্ভর বাংলা গঠনের পথে আমরা এগিয়ে যেতে পারবো। প্রতিদিন যে নিত্য যাতায়াত করছে তার জন্য যে পেট্রোলের খরচ হচ্ছে, ডিজেলের খরচ হচ্ছে, গ্রামীণ মানুষটা আমাদের এই প্রকল্প সুবিধা পেলে 80% পর্যন্ত তাদের চলাফেরায় তারা সাশ্রয় করতে পারবে। ইতিমধ্যে সোলার ইলেকট্রিক বাইক, ই বাইক, লেডিস ই কুইন, ইলেকট্রিক ফ্যাট বাইক, ইলেকট্রিক ট্রাইক, লং রেঞ্জ ইলেকট্রিক বাইক তৈরি করেছি, যেগুলো পেট্রোল বাইকের সাথে পাল্লা দিয়ে চলতে পারবে 250 থেকে 300 কিলোমিটার উইথ 70 থেকে 80 স্পিড, এবং 1 ফোঁটা পেট্রোলকে ইউজ না করে আমরা সেটা করতে পারবো। শুধু একটা নয়, 4-5টা প্রোটোটাইপও তৈরি করেছি এবং সেগুলো প্রায় 1.5-2 বছর আমরা অন রোড চালিয়েছি এবং তার প্র্যাকটিক্যাল টেস্টও করেছি স্যার। এই আমার ছোট্ট ইনোভেশন হবে 1-2 জন গ্রামীণ শিক্ষিত ছেলের কর্মসংস্থান হয়েছে। তাদের আমি নিজের হাতে প্রশিক্ষণ দিয়েছি 2 বছর বিনা পারিশ্রমিকে, যাতে আমি কাজ করার সাথে তাদের হেল্প বা তাদের সাহায্য পাই। নিজের ইনোভেশন আমার প্রায় ক্লাস 8 থেকে আজ পর্যন্ত প্রায় 37টা ইনোভেশন আছে। লাস্ট এই 3-4টে ইনোভেশন নিয়ে আমি প্রযুক্তি নির্ভরভাবে কোনো শিল্প করতে চাই পশ্চিমবঙ্গের বুকে, যাতে আমি গ্রামীণ মানে ছেলেপেলেদের নিয়ে আমি সেই শিল্পতে আমি প্রোডাকশন করতে পারি। পরিবেশ দূষণহীন বাইক, সাইকেল এবং যারা মুখ বধির চলতে পারে না তাদের জন্য স্বনিয়ন্ত্রক ট্রাইক, যারা তাদের ইচ্ছা শক্তি তারা চালাতে পারে। আজকের এই অ্যানুয়াল অনুষ্ঠানে শুভ জন্মদিনে প্রত্যেককে আমার শ্রদ্ধা, ভালোবাসা ও প্রণাম জানাই। একটা কথা বলেই শেষ করি, কবির কথা, আমাদের ছোট্ট ইনোভেশন হাবের কথা। এই বিশ্বকে শিশুর বাসযোগ্য করে যাব আমরা নবজাতকের কাছে, এ আমার দৃঢ় অঙ্গীকার। নমস্কার। হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম, একদম গ্রামীণ মানুষের জন্য আমরা 16,000 টাকা থেকে শুরু করেছি। 16,000 17,000 টাকার মধ্যে আমরা যে ই বাইক দিচ্ছি, সেই ই বাইক 40 থেকে 47 কিলোমিটার চলবে ওয়ান চার্জে, আর একবার সূর্যের চার্জে তার 2 টাকা খরচ হবে, যদি কারেন্ট থেকে দেয় 2 টাকা, আর আমি সোলার থেকে দিচ্ছি পুরো ফ্রি অফ কস্ট। আর যে বাইকগুলো, সে বাইকগুলো 60,000 টাকা থেকে শুরু, সেটা 70-80 কিলোমিটারের বেশি যেতে পারবে। এবার আমরা কি করছি স্যার, আমরা তো কোম্পানি গঠনের স্বপ্ন আমাদের। এবার গ্রামীণ মানুষ সবার প্রয়োজন এক একজনের আলাদা, একজনের প্রয়োজন সে দিনে 30 কিলোমিটার যায়, আরেকজনের প্রয়োজন দিনে সে 100 কিলোমিটার যায়। এবার আমরা যদি একটা বাইক গঠন করি 100-150 কিলোমিটার রেঞ্জের, তাহলে যে আর্থিকভাবে দূর মানে কমা, যে অল্প যাতায়াত করে, তার তাহলে বেশি পয়সা খরচ করে কিনতে হয়। তাহলে আমরা কি করছি, তাদের প্রয়োজন মতো আমরা বাইক বানাচ্ছি মাত্র 2 থেকে 3 দিনের মধ্যে। একজন বললো আমি গরিব মানুষ, আমি এখান থেকে 20 কিলোমিটার যাই, এই স্পিডের একটা বাইক দরকার আমার, এই রেঞ্জের। আমরা ঠিক সেই স্পিডের বাইক, সেই রেঞ্জের বাইক 2 দিনের মধ্যে তাকে বানিয়ে দিতে পারবো, তাতে তার আর্থিক সাশ্রয় হবে, বেশি পয়সা হ্যাম্পার করে তার গ্যাদারিং করতে হবে না। আমরা শুধুমাত্র 2 চাকা নয়, 2 চাকা, লেডিস বাইক, লেডিস ইলেকট্রিক বাইক, ট্রাইক, এবং কিছু অর্থের আমরা গ্রামীণ বেকার, আমরা ইনোভেটর, আমরা অর্থের প্রচুর প্রয়োজন। নতুন স্বপ্ন রেখেছি আমরা, যে ভারতের মধ্যে প্রথম আমরা লিথিয়াম আয়ন ব্যাটারির ইনোভেশন হাব তৈরি করেছি গ্রামের মাটিতে, যেখানে চীন জাপান থেকে আমরা ব্যাটারি আমদানি করি, কিন্তু আমি র ম্যাটেরিয়াল সংগ্রহ করে 1 ভোল্ট থেকে 100 ভোল্ট পর্যন্ত বিভিন্ন সাইজের, ট্রায়াঙ্গেল সাইজ, চতুর্ভুজ সাইজ, গোল ব্যাটারি, যে কোনো ব্যাটারি বানাতে পারছি, যেগুলো আমাদের এই টোটোতে যেগুলো ইউজ করে এর থেকে কমসে কম 5 টাইম মোর এনার্জি এফিশিয়েন্ট এবং লংজিভিটি দেবে। এর 2500 সাইকেল চার্জ করা যাবে এক একটা সেল, তার মানে মিনিমাম 6 থেকে 7-8 বছর সে মিনিমাম ইউজ করতে পারবে, তার আর্থিক সাশ্রয় হবে, পরিবেশ দূষণ না করে করতে পারবো আমরা সেটা। আর একটা নতুন টেকনোলজির কথা বলি, এই নিয়ে গবেষণা করছি, জানাবো যে আমাদের একটা ব্যাটারি প্যাকে সাপোজ 100 ব্যাটারি সেল রয়েছে, 100 সেল রয়েছে, লিথিয়াম আয়রন সেল রয়েছে। তো একটা সফটওয়্যার বানানোর চেষ্টা করছি বাড়িতে, প্রায় সাকসেসফুল হয়েছি, যে আমার মোবাইলের মাধ্যমে প্রত্যেকটা ব্যাটারির কেমিস্ট্রি আমি বুঝতে পারবো। অর্থাৎ 1 নম্বর সেল, 2 নম্বর সেল, 4 নম্বর সেল, 10 নম্বর সেল, 99 নম্বর সেল, প্রত্যেকটা কী কন্ডিশনে রয়েছে, প্রত্যেকটা কী চার্জ দিচ্ছে, কী চার্জ আউট হচ্ছে, আমি আমার মোবাইল ফোন থেকে বুঝতে পারবো। মানে টোটাল ব্যাটারির সব কিছু আমার থাকবে আমার মনের মধ্যে। এই তো আপনাদের আশীর্বাদ, ভালোবাসা এবং যদি ফান্ড পাই, অবশ্যই গ্রামের মধ্যে আমরা নতুন শিল্প করে সবুজ বাংলা গড়ার পথে এগিয়ে যেতে পারবো ম্যাডাম। নমস্কার।
Thank you, Shubhamoy, for your nice deliberation. Now I would like to request Somriddho Ghosh, inventor of blue cap. এটাও একটা চ্যালেঞ্জিং ইনভেনশন। এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের এখন জলের ক্রাইসিস, তো একটা ন্যানো কম্পোজিট ক্যাপ বানিয়েছে, সেটাও বলবে। তো সেইটা আমরা যে কোনো জায়গায় ওটা ইউজ করতে পারি।
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody present here. Good afternoon, everybody present here, respected dignitaries and fellow researchers and respected professors. So basically, we all know the issue of lack of safe drinking water in this country. But the surprising fact is that it is one of the most pressing issues in Bengal right now. We do not know about it currently in the urban setting, primarily because it is more concentrated around the Indo-Gangetic belt, which has given rise to extensive amount of diseases. But these have shown effects in the long term, like if someone drinks arsenic contaminated water for 30 years, that person has an 80% probability of gallbladder cancer. That itself is something to worry about, but it doesn't really harm us because it affects us in the long term. By then we have already forgotten or gotten accustomed to water that is high in iron or arsenic. So tackling this issue, a lot of other companies or other industries have tried to tackle this issue in their own way, from large scale water purifiers to even RO purifiers that we have installed at home. But the biggest problem that lies is, okay, there are two problems. One is electricity Number two is cost. So in order to tackle this, we created something that we call the blue cap, the blue sieve, or the panio. We still need to decide a name. So the product is nothing but a simple bottle cap. Because why a bottle cap? Because a bottle cap is one of the most recognized designed object in the 21st century that everyone relates to, starting from a rural person to anyone sitting in this room right now. So we designed the product in such a way that it fits in the pocket. It looks something like this. The best thing about this product is it is so small that it doesn't let you it doesn't let you understand that what you are drinking till date and what are the effects, or rather what are the benefits you can get through it, because this product costs 70 rupees and it can purify more than 75 liters of water at one go. So we are talking about water purification at less than 1 rupee per liter. So my question to you people is that when we talk about water purification, the first image that comes to our mind is high-end water purifiers, for example, AquaGuard and Kent in an urban setting. But what if I tell you that today we are celebrating the first year or the first birthday of TDSC at this point of time, and next year this all water bottles that you see out there, these plastic water bottles, are replaced with this product, because this product not only purifies water at less than 1 rupee per liter, but also replaces the entire, or rather aims to replace the entire plastic bottle manufacturing industry. Because as I said, this not only purifies water but also reduces the average plastic consumption per person in this room as well. So in this slide you can see the technology. So we use high-end graphene based nano composite that we have researched for the last 3 years. Secondly, in this entire journey, so we have been working on this project for almost 2.5 years now, and in this journey we have encountered a lot of I wouldn't say obstacles, but a lot of hurdles and successes as well. We presented this product in San Francisco in 2019 for the Hult Prize Regionals. Post that, we got selected by the Confederation of Indian Industries as a top 15 ideas in Eastern India. And then finally we come at this stage, at this podium, where I would really like to thank Dr. Hom Chaudhary for all the assistance, and Dr. Nawami Ghosh and Mr. Kapoor for all the assistance that we have received till date with regard to IIM Calcutta Innovation Park and West Bengal TDSC. So I would like to end my pitch by saying one thing, that this problem, as we know, might not affect us directly, but by the time you people heard my speech or listened to this product or looked at it, 3 children in rural Bengal have already fallen prey to this issue of safe drinking water in this state at least. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to request Professor Amlan Dash, Calcutta University. He is the inventor of integrated farming. This project also selected by IIM CIP for financial assistance.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais, respected other dignitaries on the online, and my dear students. Here I am going to present our technology innovation of insect farming. Before going to, we know that the insects are considered as the eco-engineers, but we seldom been considered insects as a potential product for food and feed. Though in recent years, all over the world, insects are considered as a potential food and feed, and entomophagism is encouraged by FAO in several times, and they says the insect protein could be the new future product for protein supplement for the poorer people basically those women who lives in the rural conditions, who lives in the urban regions, and who require the protein in their diet. Before going to present our presentation, I would like to share one video that we have conducted in our laboratory, so you can get an idea that where we are going and what we are going to, what we are in future, what we are want to do. So our laboratory targeted three group of insects. Number one is grasshoppers, and two the mealworms and the crickets. Here we present here the mealworm farming, but though we are working on grasshoppers and locusts since from 19, more than 20 years ago, we started this grasshopper farming, and still we are doing that grasshopper farming. Besides this, we are also working with the mealworm farming. Here, if we look at their biomass, that what kind of biomass you can produce, in mealworm, there are 3 generations. They complete in a year. So in each generation, if you consider from one pair of mealworm, then we can get near about 54 gram from one generation, and it will multiply it geometrically. In second generation, we will get near about 8 kgs of biomass, weight biomass, and in the third generation, we will get near about 1000 kgs of weight biomass. So this biomass, so number of individuals, we will produce 76 lakhs larvae, which near about weighted 1000 kgs in 1 year, and it will require near about 10 by 10 feet of house or room, and this mealworm constitutes near about 54 to 64% of protein and 32% of fatty acids. Whereas in grasshoppers, the protein content is near about 70%. And in crickets, the protein content is also near about 65 to 72%. So here is our initiative that we did in our laboratory, how we can farm the mealworm, and if the self-help group of the rural people can do this in their household capacity, or if there is some partnership farm can grow up in the rural sectors or in other areas in Bengal. So this protein can be a good product for food fortification and for other important industries like the direct food utilization for this protein product, or this protein can be utilized as a feed or as restaurant platter, or when it can be dechitinized, it can be used for other chemical industries. And if we can extract the oil, because it contains near about 32 to 36% of fat, so if we can extract the fat, we can get the insect oil or mealworm oil like the fish oil. So there is some possibilities to get the mealworm oil. And another thing is that the frases that we'll produce through this mealworm, that can be used as a biofertilizer. So by culturing this mealworm or the insects, we can get multi-fold benefits. Like we can use the mealworm powder as a proteinous food or proteinous content for food fortification or other direct utilization of this protein to like breads, pastas, and any other of in flours. We can mix that one, or we can use that protein as a in candies or in other sweet candies or in any other forms. And the oils can also be used for human consumption. And the other thing is that when we culture this mealworm, it requires a minimum space, and it requires not much infrastructural investment. So the people, the common people, can initiate this farm, can develop this farm in their household, and can develop this initiative, and they can earn money. And I suggest that the woman who works in small industries, like some people are working in the self-help groups and the other sectors of the areas, who works, they can also take this initiative in their households. So I would like to thank Department of Science and Technology for bridging me with the IIM. And I would like to thank DST Government of India for funding my student, and IIM Calcutta Innovation Park for support the project. Thank you.
Now I would like to request Dr. Mollika Datto, Government College of Engineering and Textile Technology. She is the inventor of sustainable jute-based composite. This project is DSTBT funded. It's a engineering and technology project, DSTBT funded project. So, madam, please.
The title of my project is Sustainable Jute-Based Composite with Improved Physical Properties. Myself, Dr. Mollika Datto. I am representing Government College of Engineering and Textile Technology, Sirampur. And this way, I have my guide over here, Dr. Ratna Denak. She is the Abhibhavak for our college. Let us move to the next slide, where you can see the various jute fabric, out of which the successful composite, which is having a thickness of 1 millimeter, is possible to produced by using water soluble phenolic resin as a matrix material. And then we convert that composite material into a new product. So in this way, it is a diversified applications of jute composite. So when we are talking about a new product, that is the micro perforated panel absorber, this is to be used as sound insulating material in case of a soundproof studio, or to enhance the speech intelligence in our auditorium like this. We tested, we verified, we validated this product by using a very special instrument which is available to us, that is the impedance tube through a transfer matrix method, and these are the result generated out of that machine. But most interesting part, when we are using the fleece, the jute, in the loose bagged form, it is enhancing the noise control property of the same material which is going to be mounted. Can you it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, I'm done. So it is going to enhance the noise control performance, and it is going to control the wide range of sound, that is the frequency range, that is the audible range, that is 50 Hz to 5000 Hz. So this is the design of the prototype. This is the photograph of the prototype, and this prototype can be replicated several times. This is the size of 4 square feet, and we can produce a wall out of this, and we can easily replace this kind of material which is generally carcinogenic in nature, because most of the case when we are using noise control material, those are made of the glass fiber wool or the rock wool. Those are having the carcinogenic effect. And as I already talked about the use of the fleece, this is the photograph. Thank you. This is the fiber which is being used at the back side of the this prototype, and this fleece is simply enhancing the performance of this prototype. This is the screenshot which is taken from the video during the visit of TDAC into the industry. This is the video I'm going to play, and I'm not going to take too much of time. So this is the product which can easily cut by using a simple scissor.
Unlike a laminate, this is very already have a setup in slide.
I'm going to break this.
Not easily agree to change that setup.
And this is the yarn. This is the yarn part of the jute fabric. This is the yarn part. This is the yarn
Now
part.
it is.
This is the yarn part. These are the yarns. এবার একটু সরিয়ে দিতে যদি পারেন খুব ভালো হয়। So we can see that it can be easily cut by using a simple tool by hand method. So the processing of this particular product in making of a new product, that jute composite, into a micro perforated panel absorber is very easy. এবার আরেকটু স্লাইডটাকে মুভ করাতে হবে, এতটা দেখ মানে হ্যাঁ 7 মিনিটের কাছে গেছে। He is the SRF associated with us, and they are the TDEC officer who visited our office. So this is the process of making of perforation, which is a very simple one, and we can use a hand wheeling system. So to make this product, and I have my product. If you wish, you can see this product. Only the thing is we require a master artisan. Master artisan is required. That means I'm very much thankful to Government of West Bengal, and especially ma'am, you are and we are having your blessing in all this regard. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Mollika Datta. Now, I would like to request Dr. Joydeep Mukherjee, Associate Professor, School of Environmental Studies, inventor of production of organic fertilizer by utilizing slaughterhouse wastes. This project also DSTBT funded projects under environmental group. Yes, sir.
হচ্ছে না কেন এইটাই নাম হ্যাঁ স্লাইড শোতে দিয়ে এখানে স্লাইড শো from beginning Honorable Minister and distinguished dignitaries. First of all, I like to thank the West Bengal Department of Science and Technology and Biotechnology for giving me this opportunity to present our work. So, our research work is on the basically on the recycling of rural slaughterhouse wastes as an organic fertilizer, which can be directly used by the local farmers there. So I have with me in our team Dr. Rambilash Mollik from the University of Calcutta as a co-investigator, and Dr. Anupam Deb Sarkar from the Civil Engineering Department of Jadavpur University. And there are two research fellows, Onkita, who is basically a chemical engineer, and Shantanu Bhunia, who is looking after the agriculture side. So, cow and buffalo slaughtering in our country till today is largely dominated by the informal sector. And this problem is very much apparent in the villages, where there is a blatant disregard of the environmental norms. And after slaughtering of the animals, the hide, skin, bones, they all have some monetary value for the slaughterhouse owners. But the real problem is the raw blood and the rumen digester, which is the undigested food material inside the stomach of the slaughtered animals, which is just openly discharged and dumped in the surroundings near the slaughterhouses, making them absolutely unhealthy, as you can see in the image there. So what we observe there is that the local people are using that blood as the fertilizer. But blood, if it is applied directly to the soil, it has there is a large emanation of ammonia, and because of the ammonia shock, the plants die. So our idea was to attenuate this nitrogen content of the blood with the rumen digester, and by mixing them in a 3:1 ratio and processing them in the machine which you see here. So this is basically a helical ribbon dryer which has which has a helical ribbon spinning inside the drum, and at the same time there is a source of heat which is basically heating the tank from the bottom. And this actually converts the blood and the rumen digester to a product which we have named as BBRDM, or bovine blood rumen digester mixture, which can be used as the organic fertilizer. This is the machine which you see here. Basically, this is the drum here, and with the drum here with the mixer. And on the right hand side you see there's a source of heat. So basically this is we are replicating the cooking process which is carried out by the local villagers there. We have mechanized this, basically the cooking process of the blood and rumen digester, by using this machine, and to produce this organic fertilizer. And the slaughterhouse where we have installed this machine, the owner of the slaughterhouse is now selling this product to the local villagers also. So people, the local farmers are also utilizing this organic fertilizer there. And in our laboratory as well as in the field, we have cultivated tomato, we have cultivated brinjal, chilies, cowpea, and we have got very good results from there. And very recently we have cultivated cabbage, and interestingly, after the cabbage cultivation is over, without the necessity of adding additional fertilizer, you can the villagers have grown spinach. So the yield which the farmer is getting is higher than the chemical fertilizer which he is applying. The nutritional quality of the vegetables are better. There is less disease infestation. The microbial population is also high, so the soil water holding capacity is also higher, and ultimately it translates to higher profits for the farmer. So this is the solution which we gave, and we have been granted a patent also for the machine which has been invented. And these are the international journal publications we have made. And then we also have made seminar presentations in nature conferences. And our students also won the best poster presenter award in IIT Guwahati. So basically through this work, what we have done is that we have provided additional income to the slaughterhouse owners, because they are now utilizing the waste to have an as a co-product of slaughtering. The local farmers are also getting the organic fertilizer at a very low price. It is the slaughterhouse owner is selling the product around 25 to 30 rupees a kilogram, which is much cheaper than the currently available fertilizers there. And also it gives an environmental solution to the problem of this dumping of wastes. So I thank the department for providing the financial support for this project. And I especially like to thank Dr. Shobhan Rai, who was the convener, and he helped me enormously with his suggestions to about running the project, and especially to Dr. Mohua Hom Chaudhary, when she helped me, helped us from the point of drafting the patent application, answering the examiner's reports, hearing. So ultimately, we got the patent due to her support. And also the experts during the presentation and the review of the progress of the work for the helpful suggestions which helped us to take this project forward. And finally, the faculties and members of the Indian Institute of Management for the enthusiastic support for the translational research. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jaideep Mukherjee, for your presentation. Now I would like to request Dr. Mamata Chawla Sarkar, the inventor of coupling host-virus interaction to host subcellular quantitative proteomics, an unbiased integrated approach to decipher host determinants for rotaviral infection. It is also DSTBT funded project, and it is on the way of commercialization, as TDSC will take up in future.
Good afternoon, dignitaries on the dais, and also all the guests over here. My project is little offbeat than what you have been hearing till now, because it is still in the early stages, and it is also about healthcare. So it takes quite long time to get into the market. So the main focus was to identify and targets for the antiviral therapeutics. And the question which I have been asked repeatedly is, why not vaccine? Why you are not trying to develop vaccine? Why you are looking for the antiviral? So just as a virologist, I would like to tell is that for most of the vaccines which are available against the viral diseases, especially the acute infections like SARS or rotavirus, influenza, none of the vaccines actually can control mortality. They only reduce the severity of the disease. And even if the disease severity is reduced, the most unfortunate part is that the vaccine efficacy in the developed countries is very good. But when these vaccines are used in developing countries or the poor countries like India, the efficacy is quite low. Like for example, for the rotavirus, the disease burden is very high in developing countries. In West Bengal itself, for the last 1 decade, our lab has shown that in the hospitalized children with diarrhea, almost 35 to 40% children under 3 years old have rotavirus as pathogen. And however, the vaccines which has been introduced in UIP, it was introduced in 2019 in West Bengal, so we don't have data. However, in Bhubaneswar, which is quite near to our state, the efficacy of the vaccine after 2 years of introduction in the national immunization program is only 37%. So it actually reduces only 37% of the cases which was there early. So if the burden was 50% and you reduce 37% of the 50%, we still have a lot of children who have diarrhea. So our aim was to identify targets for developing antiviral therapeutics which can work in addition to the vaccine. So what we are targeting is host proteins. We are not targeting viral proteins, because now with SARS-CoV-2, all of you know how easily the variants are generated. Every 6 months, a year, you will have a new variant. So no antiviral targeted against viral protein will work. So that is why we are targeting host proteins as a target. And the reason is because they don't get mutations very easily. And they can cover broad genotypes and lot of variants. And there is also faster development. So the principal technology we used was, we infect the cells with virus and do a high throughput omics screen, both microRNA and protein, to identify which proteins are differentially modulated. They will be either upregulated or downregulated. And based on their upregulation or downregulation, we use agonists or antagonists to see whether we have antiviral effects. So that is the principle. How do I go to next? Okay. Thank you. So, in just because only 3 slides were, we were told to present only in 3 slides. So, I'll directly go in. One of the observations, which was from this project, was that we found that NRF2 heme oxygenase 1 axis was downregulated during rotavirus infection, during early hours and late hours of infection. So, what we did is we tried both ways. We tried a small molecule, which is RA839, which actually inhibits the NRF2 mediated transcription, and we also tried hemin, which is already a drug which is used for some other treatment. So it is drug repurposing as well as small molecule research, and we did that both in vitro in the cell line as well as in the mice model. We find there was a substantial decrease in rotavirus infection at the doses which are tolerable by the mice also. So now what next? For any translational research, after the bench laboratory, we need to go to the clinical site. So right now we are doing preclinical studies in our lab, which is what we can do. But for doing clinical studies, we would be requiring clinical partners. And I would like to acknowledge the funding support from the WB DSTBT for the project. I have this project for 2 years now. And then I also like to acknowledge DSTBT and IIM CIP for giving me an opportunity today to present our research findings, which are still not at the level in which it can go to the market. Yes. So thank you. I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. Mamta Chawla Sarkar, and I work in ICMR NICED, National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Diseases. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sarkar, for your nice presentation. Now we will hear from two successful innovators from IIM CIP. First is Mr. Saurabh Rai, Monosha Biotech Private Limited. So I would like to request Mr. Saurabh Rai to present your invention.
দেখতে পাচ্ছি না তো শুড অফ পিপিটিটাই হবে এটা স্লাইড শো করে দিন এটা দিয়ে চেঞ্জ না এটা দিয়ে শিফট আসবে এটা দিয়ে Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good evening to all the dignitaries and sir. My name is Saurabh Roy. I represent a company, a social enterprise called Monosha Biotech. Snakes bite, and snake bites are killing and maiming millions of people all over the world, as well as in India. You can see this figure. The WHO, the World Health Organization, has announced snake bite to be a neglected tropical disease. Out of almost about 138,000 deaths which happen annually, 50,000 deaths happen in India alone. So, unfortunately, we carry the disgraceful stigma of being the snake bite death capital of the world. Now, let me mention one thing. The real number is far more than 50,000 because there is rampant underreporting. And we should not also forget, we are talking here about the mortality, but what about the morbidity? Farmers, daily laborers, fishermen, they're losing their limbs and legs. So that is a pain point. Now the antivenom, which is used to treat snake bites, can only be made with venom. Now one thing which we observed is that the market of antivenom is very, very unorganized and erratic. It's not region specific. Now let me tell you, snake bites can be treated with antivenom, but the antivenom has to be region specific. What does it mean? It means that, God forbid, if I am bitten by a cobra in the eastern part of the country, then I have to be treated with an antivenom which has been made by using the venom pertaining to the eastern part of the country only. But unfortunately, for the last 40 years, the entire country's antivenom is being made by taking venom from just one small district of the southern part of the country. And hence, the more we digress from the south, the efficacy of the antivenom goes down. Our doctors and our medical fraternity has acknowledged this fact, that if the recommended dosage for a snake bite, madam, is, let's say, 10 to 15 vials. Here, 40, 50, 100 vials are given. Still, people are not surviving because the venom is not region specific. Now, these are points which we have identified. Now, there's no quality control of venom at the present moment. There are just 4 snake species of snakes. Now, let me tell you, in India, venomous snake species are to the tune of around 60, 65. But the antivenom which we are getting with all these pain points of not being region specific are not going to work against the entire spectrum of the venomous snakes. So now these are the pain points which at Monosha Biotech we have identified. Venom is also, venom to most of the people when they hear about venom, they say it's death. But for us, venom is life. Because venom is basically a cluster bomb. It is not only used to make antivenom, but if you are talking about drug discovery, venom holds the next vistas of new life-saving drugs. In homeopathy it is used, and in cosmetics also. So venom is basically a cluster bomb. Now we have worked out a very virtuous cycle. You know what? Saving snakes, we are saving snakes because we have got loads of experiences in the last few many years whereby a snake enters a house, the only choice which a person does is that he kills the snake. And in the process of trying to kill the snake, each and every snake has a very different nature. A cobra bites in one manner, the viper bites in another manner. So the lay person doesn't know how to deal with the snake and he gets bitten by the snake. So what we are doing is that we are rescuing saving the snakes. We are going there and rescuing the snakes. We are bringing it to our serpentarium. We have created the first class, world-class serpentarium here in West Bengal. There's a place called Baruipur. We have created that. We are keeping the snakes out there with ambient temperature and humidity, everything controlled. We are harvesting the snake venom. And that's my expertise. I have traveled the world starting from Australia, USA, Africa to the Southeast Asian countries to work with all the venomous snakes. I know how to keep the snakes and I myself extract the venom. So that venom is extracted, we preserve the venom and process it. Processing it, we lyophilize it to increase the shelf life, madam. And then we supply it to the antivenom manufacturers. So now the antivenom manufacturers would be making antivenom which would be West Bengal specific. And that antivenom is going to save lives. Now why this is a virtuous cycle? Because the more the number of people are going to get saved from snake bites, the grudge against snakes are going to go down. So the villagers, you cannot blame them. There are people there are many villages, madam, whereby we know that each and every household has got a sad story to say about snake bites. So the moment they see a snake, they kill the snake. So this is a virtuous cycle. Now this is what we do. Integration of traditional tribal knowledge with modern science and technology to generate sustainable profitability in an equitable and ecologically sustainable manner. We are engaging the traditional snake charmers of India in our project. Now they are almost on the verge of redundance because they are not supposed to work with venomous snakes. Wildlife Protection Act protects that. But we have got the permit and we are grateful and we express our heartfelt gratitude to the state government, the government of West Bengal, for having heard us and for having given this opportunity to serve the snakebite victims, and also to IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, who are our innovators, who are our incubators. Now this is very important because I was actually contemplating and thinking about Monosha Biotech. Not even my parents were supporting this. So the government of West Bengal and IIM CIP had actually given me a hearing and have actually thought about this, that this can be worked out, and we are here today. This is a serpentarium which we have created at Baruipur, and we are extracting the venom. This is me extracting a venom from a Russell's viper, Daboya russelli, Chandra Bora jetake bole, and the venoms are being preserved. Our core team comprises of all these members. We are having the traditional snake charmers as well. We are having subject experts from various government important departments. And I am Saurav Roy, the co-founder director. I am a master herpetologist, a wildlife ecologist. I've done my international business from IIFT, and I've traveled all across the world working with all the venomous snakes. And I am also an expert member of the ICMR National Task Force for Snakebite Research in India. These are our associations. We are a DPIIT recognized startup. We are incubated at IIM Calcutta, as we mentioned. We are also associated with WBIDC and FICCI. Our research and development partners are CSIR, IICB, and these are the achievements. We have won IIT Impresario. We have won the ICC Health Platform Award in the year 2020 also. And in the year 2019, our respected CM had launched an app called the Sanjeevani app. In that Sanjeevani app, we had actually collaborated with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare Government of West Bengal to have that app in place. Thank you very much. And one thing I would like to say, sir, especially to you, sir, because this is the platform which we have been looking in for. Because while traveling across the globe, we have felt that if we want to take it to the next level, then venom research has to come up. And what better can be apart from this platform? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Saurabh Rai, for your presentation. Now I would like to request Mr. Sunandan Mukherjee, Brixel Technologies Private Limited. It is also incubatee of IIM CIP.
Honorable MS ma'am and distinguished dignitaries, I would like to welcome Mr. Sagnik Basu, the youngest and enthusiastic member of our team Brixels, to present our Bengal Bangla model aquaculture.
Please switch on the PPT. Shondan Banerjee. Yeah. আপনি করে দিন তাহলে এটা তো কোনটা এটা Okay. So, good afternoon everyone. I, on behalf of Brixel Technologies Private Limited, would like to grab this opportunity to express my thanks of gratitude to Honorable Minister Dr. Ratna Denag and the dignitaries present here for making this wonderful event possible. I am also thankful to the organizers and my team for giving me this opportunity. All of us have gathered here with a common goal, that is a better Bengal, Unnoto Bangla. It is evident that all of us are working hard in our respective fields. Being no exception, based on the research by Dr. Devajyoti Chakravarti, we have developed 2 products for sustainable and profitable aquaculture and have launched it under the brand names Humic Phytophort and Humofloc respectively. Via a series of various theoretical research and practical experiments, we have successfully implemented a few special techniques in aquaculture and are glad to introduce our model. Firstly, bringing the problems of traditional methods under the limelight. The traditional methods, although being expensive, are still insufficient as it requires annual changing of water, frequent medication, it has rapid use of artificial lab synthesized probiotics. Still, the mortality of fishes is very high. The decrease in yield in annual is a very natural and a very common thing. The degradation in quality of food, that is the food value, the protein content, the natural disease resistance, and the reproductive capacity of the fishes has been noted. Then what is the solution? Inspired by Charles Darwin's law of natural selection, we have to shift towards natural methods and have to rejuvenate the natural capacity of the environment, that is the water body, which is unfortunately destroyed today due to the rapid use of chemicals by modern fish farmers. It can be done by using natural food, natural probiotics, water body conditioning without change of water, and minimizing the use of artificial medications. I am glad to introduce our Bangla model of aquaculture, which provides a wide variety of natural probiotic based products for sustainable and profitable aquaculture approved by BCKV and Burdwan University. It always supports for any technical problem related to water or any health related issues of fish a farmer is facing. There is no annual change of water, so it is highly cost effective. There is improved health and disease resistance of fishes, and we have seen high productivity with low inputs. So now let's come on the impact. The impact on farmers, as noted, are they can have a disease-free aquaculture. They don't need any sort of chemical medications to heal the diseased fishes because the fishes have generated their immunity by natural means. The external feed cost can be avoided. As a result, it makes our product highly cost effective. We can provide antibiotic and sanitizer-free aquaculture. Financial enhancement of livelihood of the fish farmers and associate workers have also been reported. Disease and antibiotic-free healthy fishes are provided to the fish consumers, and we have also given a chance for employment generation, and we are encouraging a number of micro entrepreneurs for future. Currently, from the year 2015, we started with 1 acre land, and we have been incubated at IIM CIP in 2015 and have covered 500 acres till date. We have benefited 300 plus farmers and 1200 plus associates, and the profit has hiked by approximately 30%. By 2025, we have to cover a number of districts, but currently our product is available and is dominating in the districts of East Midnapur, Murshidabad, East Burdwan, North and South 24 Parganas. And we have an aim to expand our business into 13 districts of West Bengal by 2025 and also to develop all over India. The pandemic has taught us that offline method is not the ultimate option. We have to shift towards online and we have to accept the technology. So with this view, we have developed an app whose prototype initially contains 4 windows. One where the farmers can post their problems. The second one is the farmers will be educated to different parameters related to fish farming, and the problems which they are posting will be directly reported to the scientist, and we are trying to provide them the solutions as fast as possible. Thirdly, there will be a window for e-commerce where the companies and the dealers can display and sell their products as per the requirement of the farmers. In short, we are trying to provide an ultimate package of fish farming in a cost-effective way. That's my all. Thank you everyone for coming here. I hope we will bring a better tomorrow together. Happy Sharodiya to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shunandan Mukherjee. Now, I would like to request our Honorable MOS Madam to address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon. On the occasion, good afternoon. On the occasion of annual day celebration of TDSC, I convey, which is our prestigious thing, TDSC, I convey my thanks to all the dignitaries, inventors, co-inventors, scientists, and all the people here who are present here. Everybody has been explained by our ACS, Mr. Anil Verma, and making, who has, all of you have made this program successful. Thank you all. I'm not going to the details. I'm just telling you that we have heard the from the inventors what they have invented. Some of that very interesting, at least for me. I hope this endeavor of our state government will gain enormous opportunities for young entrepreneurs and will also enable our economic development as well. With Sharodiya greetings, thank you all. Keep health.
Now, this is the time to felicitate our inventors. So, I would like to request our Honorable MOS ma'am to felicitate. First, I want to first initiate the program with Dr. Mamata Chawla Sarkar, the inventor of coupling host virus interaction. Madam, please. Certificate distribution will be afterwards. So we want to felicitate Dr. Mamata Chawla Sarkar, madam. Yes, please. No, you can. Yes. Now I would like to request Mr. Saurabh Rai come to the dais. Now I like to request Mr. Shunanda Mukherjee. Now the certificate of technology hunt program will be distributed with a small memento of our council. So I like to request our respected ACS sir to distribute the certificate, sir. First, Dr. Priyobroto Banerjee, is he here? No, he's not there. Dr. Amlan Dash. Certificate. Now I'd like to request Dr. Joydeep Mukherjee to come to the dais. Now I like to request Dr. Shurita Chakraborty. Is she there? No, she is not present. Now I like to request Dr. A.C. Sarkar, Director, CRCT. Now I like to request Shubhamay Vishwas. Next, Somriddha Ghosh. Yes, Milan Mondal, is it there? No. So I now like to request Sri Sudipta Porel sir, Joint Secretary DSTBT, to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening. After a very long and fruitful deliberation, I would like to extend my vote of thanks to the distinguished guest and participant on this auspicious occasion of celebration of 1 year very successful journey of Technology Development and Adaptation Center. My deep sense of gratitude and appreciation goes to Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Dr. Ratna Nak Madam, for her immediate acceptance of our offer for celebration of the auspicious day of TDSC annual program, and also for her continuous effort, constant encouragement and guidance for running the department to make it more visible. It must be mentioned that the objectives of TDSC are building and nurturing of an ecosystem to support S&T-led entrepreneurship, promoting scientific research and innovation, mentoring product development, and supporting the promising S&T solutions of the state to enable sustainable venture and facilitate commercialization. TDSE will develop and adopt technologies in nascent stage in a bottom-up approach, which will address need-based, location-specific problems with appropriate S&T intervention for economically viable, ecologically sustainable, and socially acceptable development. We are all inspired by your words, madam. We are grateful and thankful to Sir Anil Verma, sir, Additional Chief Secretary of this department, for his motivational advice and encouraging the scientists of the department and council on a regular basis for making the Technology Development and Adaptation Center a successful venture. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for his untiring and undaunting effort in running the department, accounting its manpower, especially the scientific pool, as real asset and resource. I, on behalf of the department and the entire team of West Bengal State Council of Science and Technology, especially the PICs, would like to express my sincerest thanks and gratitude to Professor Manish K. Thakur, Dean, NINER, IIM Joka, for remaining present on the dais during the auspicious occasion, and we will always look for your guidance in making inventor entrepreneurship tie-up a reality, sir. A big thank and gratitude to Professor Subhangshu Sanyal, CEO, IIM Calcutta Innovation Park, for his painstaking effort and support in making TDSE a purposeful entity today. We are also grateful that we have received lots of valuable advice, supports, and suggestions from Dr. Devapriya Datta, Scientist G and Head, SSTP Division, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I would like to extend my deep sense of gratitude and thanks for Mr. Bodhisattva Mukherjee, Additional Director General, Indian Chamber of Commerce, who by his august presence and live interaction to make the program a truly meaningful one, and shall always look forward for the closer ties with the chambers to translate the research initiative of the department on the ground for the greater interest of people and society. We are really grateful to have 8 technology developers with us today who, by way of their untiring efforts and dedicated activism, have grounded some real technologies which the TDSE is now trying to project and promote commercially. Our deep sense of appreciation goes for them, and their input and advices will continue to enrich TDSE in future, we hope. Our gratitude and thanks also go for invited chairpersons and members of various R&D expert committees, principal investigators of various R&D projects who are watching this celebration ceremony through online platform. I also convey my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the fraternity of scientists, scientific officers, and administrative officers assembled here, especially Sajal Kanti Tikadar, Additional Secretary, Dipankar Das, PSO, Purnabhrata Hajra, Principal Scientist, Sri Pradeep Kumar Das, OSD, Minister of State, Srimati Sharmista Ghosh, PS2, Minister of State. Finally, we must appreciate that an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling weeks ago. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of PIC State Council led by Dr. Moha Hom Chaudhary, Senior Scientist, and Scientist who are very motivated, know their job well, and are also result oriented. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the concert team for giving an excellent live coverage to the program through YouTube channel. We thank you for being with us. It has been a great pleasure and memorable experience. Hope in the days to come, this TADC, Technology Adaptation and Development Center, will prosper in its journey with your guidance and cooperation, sir, all along. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sirs and madams.
So we announce end of this program. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you.